Today on People Now, we go inside the life of the late Princess Diana 20 years after her death.
One of the great tragedies, of course, is that Diana would have been the best grandmother ever.
In this week's People Cover Story, we hear from the people who knew her best.
So I am, petrified.
Dance Mom star Abby Lee Miller petrified of what might happen to her in prison.
We'll tell you what she's doing to make sure her fears do not become a reality.
Plus, a People Now exclusive.
I'm learning about all different types of forms of recovery.
To the Bone star Lily Collins tells us about the process of gaining her weight back after the film.
And heartthrob Chris Hemsworth opens up on how anyone can have a great body like he does for Thor.
She's very, very collaborative, and then he's such a good improviser.
Actor TJ Miller tells us about working with Ryan Reynolds on Deadpool 2 and how his wife and Blake Lively really hit it off.
This show and this stage is gonna make you into a superstar.
And DJ Khaled gifted his golden buzzer to contestant Chase Goehring on last night's America's Got Talent. The singer-songwriter tells us all about that big night, live today on People Now.
Keeping it real, kinda like an acapella, acapella, acapella.
Happy Wednesday, Facebook Live and People.com. Welcome to People Now. Guys, the late Princess Diana graces the cover of this week's People 20 years after her death. The issue is taking you inside the life of Diana, the people's princess, from the perspective of those who knew her best, including her brother Charles Spencer. Later in the show, we're going to be breaking down the cover story with People's deputy editor Dan Wakeford. So in honor of this week's issue and the people's princess, we want to know what your favorite Princess Diana moment is. Let us know in the comments. But first, here's what you need to know and what's trending today. Watch.
Are you afraid? And if
Absolutely.
so, what are you afraid of?
Absolutely.
What are you scared of?
I've been told not to talk about it because once they know, when they see this and they know, that's what they'll go after. So I am, petrified.
That's a clip from Tuesday night's Lifetime special where former Dance Moms coach Abby Lee Miller laid out her prison fears for The View's Jedediah Bila. Abby, who began her 366-day prison sentence 2 weeks ago, was charged with attempting to hide $775,000 worth of income between the years 2012 and 2013. The reality star, who pled guilty to bankruptcy fraud last June, admits that she's extra fearful of possible physical abuse while serving her time. She told Jedediah, "It's not something that I think about. I kind of blocked it out, but it's definitely something that I'm terrified of. I hope it won't be as bad as I imagine, but if a whole gang of people wants to kill you, they're going to do it. If a whole bunch of people want to make your life a living hell, they're going to do it. If it's that bad, I probably won't survive." Prior to serving her sentence, Miller met with a female federal prison consultant to prepare for what's to come. The consultant, who was previously incarcerated for 17 months, advised Miller to, quote, "Be respectful, then you're probably not going to get into any fights with any women. Just blend in, follow the rules, keep your volatility at a low level." Now, although Miller is hopeful for the future, revealing she eventually wants to return to teaching, the reality star also recognizes the fear of the unknown, saying, quote, "Will I come out and have nothing? That's more scary than going in." Well, guys, moving on to this. We all know Chris Hemsworth had to get ripped for his role as the hammer-wielding Thor, but the actor is saying anyone can get a superhero bod like his. The Thor star opened up to Men's Health about getting in shape and reacting to those social media comments that say celebs can only stick to a workout regimen because they have more money. He said this: "No amount of money makes someone else do the work for you. If you can't afford a trainer, that's totally fine. Use friends, use anyone. Do a workout in your living room. It's really easy to jump online to find nutritional plans and workout routines and more." Chris goes on to say, ultimately, being fit is about motivation, and action creates motivation. Don't wait around for someone else to come push you. Push yourself. The star also reveals that being bulky isn't everything that he's after. Chris is interested in becoming more agile and said that his workouts include Muay Thai, surfing, and yoga. Well, guys, just when you thought Anna Faris and Chris Pratt couldn't get any cuter, think again. In this week's People, the star of the upcoming Emoji movie reveals that she and Chris actually have a special emoji for when it's time to take some time off. She said, quote, "I send the emoji of an eagle landing to say, let's get away to the islands. We both grew up in Washington State. We have a place up there." And Faris admits it's time to get away indeed. After filming season 5 of the hit show Mom and chasing around a 4-year-old, she says she's a little fried, but even then, she's thoughtful and candid in the interview, opening up about the challenges of navigating power couple celebrity status, telling people, quote, "I don't think that's something when you're an actor that you're prepared for. There are 2 different roles that you play, one on camera and the one in public. That is the tricky part." But her favorite role is mom to son Jack, saying that it's, quote, "fascinating to watch him become a person." She reveals that he's starting to share some of his dad's interests, like his love for the great outdoors and fishing. Such an adorable family. Now we move on to this. There's been a lot of talk and some controversy over Lily Collins' new movie, To the Bone, about a young girl struggling with anorexia. Some people weren't happy with Lily's decision to lose weight for the role, especially after the star had dealt with her own eating disorder issues in the past. But Collins just sat down with me to talk about her upcoming Amazon show, The Last Tycoon. She opened up about the response from To the Bone and revealed how she got back to a normal weight after filming. Watch this.
It's been so incredible. I've been following it on social media, and the whole reason, part of the reason that Marty and I made this movie is to prompt conversation surrounding an incredibly important subject matter that's considered too taboo to talk about. And we're by no means starting the conversation, we're just heightening it and igniting it. And on social media, the amount of young people that have started telling their stories and sharing their experiences and coming out and talking about it has made such an impact on me, having shared my experiences with it. And I feel like there's just a real surgence of not feeling alone, and that's really important, especially with this kind of subject matter.
The conversation is obviously really important. So many people that I know talking about it are just really connecting with the story and what it brings to light. How about your journey in getting back to the baseline, sort of gaining the weight back and being back to your baseline? Has that been harder or easier than you thought it would be?
I think, everyone's journey and everyone's recovery and everyone's process is so different, and that's been the beauty of the experience post-movie, is that I'm learning about all different types of forms of recovery and everyone's journey. With our movie in particular, everything was done under the supervision of a nutritionist, and I'm here being able to promote and happy, and it's, recovery is possible, so it's been a great journey.
She seems really happy with herself and in a great place.
Yeah, nice to hear from her.
Yeah.
All right, good morning. Let's check in with Facebook Live. We're asking what your favorite Princess Diana moment is in honor of her being on the cover of this week's People.
Yep, BB says everything is beautiful about Diana, but the day she passed, that was an evil day.
Jacqueline loved Diana and Charles' wedding. Paula says best Diana moment was when she made no secrets about how she was treated. She stood up for herself.
Yeah, she definitely spoke out, and there's a lot more about Diana coming up in just a little bit. Keep the Facebook comments coming in as well. We'll check in with you again soon. But first, Andrea, more trending news for us in Star Trek.
That is right, Jeremy. Well, we're kicking off Star Trek with Jessica Biel dishing on mommyhood. Yes, the notoriously private Jessica Biel stopped by The Tonight Show Tuesday and spilled some details on family life with husband Justin Timberlake and 2-year-old son Silas Randall, revealing that the tiny tot already has some pretty impressive fashion. When asked where she shops for her child's clothing, Biel gave all the credit to her husband Justin Timberlake, saying, quote, "He's a mini Justin. It's his style. He's got like a daddy swagger." And while Timberlake has got the style department down pat, Biel knows how to make her son very happy with snacks, saying, quote, "I do not leave the house without snacks. I'm gonna have pretzels, veggie sticks, apple. I'm gonna have supplies." Love a mom who's always prepared, especially with food. And speaking of adorable son moments, get ready for a cuteness overload here. Christina Aguilera has found herself the perfect stand-in, and it looks like he's inherited his mom's showmanship. The songstress proudly shared a video of her 9-year-old son Max taking over his famous mom's dance rehearsal and lip-syncing his heart out to her 2006 hit Ain't No Other Man. 36-year-old Aguilera posted the video on Instagram Tuesday, captioning it, "My little man filling in for mommy at rehearsal." But it gets us wondering, what could Aguilera be rehearsing for? The Genie in a Bottle Singers Fighters fan club speculate that Aguilera could be the recipient of the 2017 MTV Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award at next month's Video Music Awards. The frenzy started on July 11th when Aguilera followed the official MTV VMA's Twitter account, adding to her total of 24 followed accounts. Well, she definitely has my vote, and hopefully Max dances on stage with her as well. We would love that. All right, moving on to this. This Is Us star Mandy Moore is opening up about music, marriage, and babies in this week's issue of People. The 33-year-old actress who divorced musician Ryan Adams after a 6-year marriage back in 2016 says she's very open to the idea of tying the knot once again, telling People, definitely. My life has taken unexpected twists and turns, but overall my journey is the reason I am here today. I feel fulfilled by everything that happened. Moore, who's partnering with Merrick on the new Her Life, Her Adventures campaign, is a passionate advocate for safe family planning, but admits she's now itching for some babies of her own, revealing this. At this point, my life is focused on my career, but I'm definitely ready for motherhood sooner rather than later. When asked if she's talked parenthood with boyfriend of over a year, Taylor Goldsmith, Mandy says, sure, I think that's going to be the next chapter. Well, we are very happy for her. All right, now moving on to this. Who is counting down the days until Deadpool 2? Well, TJ Miller is reprising his role as Weasel in the sequel to the hit 2016 superhero movie alongside Ryan Reynolds. So what is it like to work with superstar Reynolds? Miller gave us the inside scoop on hanging with the actor on set, and he also let us know just how great Ryan's wife, Blake Lively, really is. Take a look.
He is so very, very collaborative in the wake of being such a good improviser. So when he provides alts or he's joking with you, he could easily be like, I'm the general, just let me do what I do, and then that's the end of it. But at the end of a run, he'll go, hey, I have a pitch, do you want it for you when I say this? And so he's very, very collaborative, and then he's such a good improviser. And Blake Lively and my wife Kate, they get along very well because Blake is so open and smart and interested and, you know, but also really chill, down to earth, joking and self-aware. A double date is on the books, but I don't know if it's gonna happen.
I would love to see a double date happen with those guys. And those are your Star Tracks for today.
And stay with us, guys. We are remembering Princess Diana 20 years after her death. Plus, we're talking to the next Ed Sheeran. Yes, America's Got Talent's latest Golden Buzzer winner is Skyping in live. Stick around.
This is King Cutie in People. His Royal Highness Prince George Alexander Louis of Cambridge. These are George's parents, George's home, his Nana, the Queen, and his staff of 644 Englishmen. This is George's dog Lupo, who inspired his favorite book, The Adventures of the Royal Dog Lupo, one George will share now that he's a big brother. People. The details make the story. Don't miss this week's People.
Well, what's amazing to me is that the passing of time, that now, you know, William and Catherine are sort of nearly the same age as Diana when she died. One of the great tragedies, of course, is that Diana would have been the best grandmother ever.
Oh, how's that?
I love the fact that there's still such veneration inside her immediate family for what she was and what she meant, and I think that's fantastic.
That's an exclusive clip of Princess Diana's brother Charles Spencer from the upcoming special The Story of Diana, presented by ABC and People, which airs on August 9th and 10th at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's been 20 years since Princess Diana's tragic death. This week's issue of People is taking us inside her life with even more from her brother and those who knew her best. Joining us to give an inside look at the issue is People's deputy editor, Dan Wakeford. Dan, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
One of the interesting things, Charles Spencer really gets candid in this issue about his sister's life. What surprising things did he reveal about Diana?
Well, he really dispels the myths about Diana. She was always called Shy Di by the British press, and he says we didn't call her Di and she wasn't shy. In fact, she was actually quite brave from the very start of her life. He tells this amazing anecdote of her being on a fishing trip and a scary eel jumping over on the side of the boat.
Wow.
And she deals with it very upfrontly, which basically means she cut its head off. And he's basically saying that she's very, very brave and always has been very courageous.
Yeah, the opposite of this sort of timid, kind of shy person that was depicted. All right, that's very interesting. Charles Spencer even shared an exclusive photo with People that's being released as part of a limited edition eulogy book. Tell me about that.
The photo is really, really sweet. It shows Diana holding hands with a very young Charles. It's a British summer's day, and it really does show her nurturing nature that was always there from the start. He says that she would always look after somebody if they needed help.
Yeah, look at that. It's a very sweet photo there, and undoubtedly something really cool to see. Princess Diana's driver opens up as well in this week's issue, something that I found very fascinating. He's shared what it was like in her hospital room after that tragic car accident. What did he have to say?
Yeah, it's really eerie, actually. Colin Tebbett was sent to pick up Diana's body from Paris, and it was a hot summer's day. He's in the room with the body where she was lying, and it's just very hot, so he puts on a fan, and the fan started waving her hair and her eyelashes, and he turns around and he just thinks, oh my God, she's alive still.
Wow.
And it's just a very eerie anecdote.
Yeah, it's kind of this strange moment he had, right, of almost like doubting the truth there. Princess Diana has such an amazing bond with her sons, Prince William, Prince Harry, of course. She had fears about what would happen to them after she divorced their dad, Prince Charles. What were those fears?
I mean, she was basically scared that she would lose the kids to the royal family and to the establishment. And that was the reason why James Coldhurst tells us in the documentary that she actually worked with Andrew Morton on a book to put her side of the story out there.
All right, and speaking of Prince William and Prince Harry, Diana's brother also opens up about when the boys visit their mother at her burial place. What did he share?
Charles created this absolute beautiful sanctuary where Diana was buried on Orthwop, which is an island, and it's actually beautiful and full of nature. And he lets William and Harry go and visit her whenever whenever they want, and they spend time alone with her, and he doesn't crowd her, and it's a really beautiful place. And no one actually knows where Diana was buried on that island, only them.
Wow, lots of really great information there. Thank you so much, Dan. Good to
Thank
see you. For much more on Princess Diana, make sure to pick up a copy of this week's issue of People, which hits newsstands everywhere Friday.
Keeping it real, kinda like an acapella, acapella, acapella.
You're on your way to be a star. This show and this stage is gonna make you into a superstar.
Well, it's just the morning after, but that video of DJ Khaled giving 21-year-old Chase Goehring the golden buzzer on Tuesday night's America's Got Talent has already been viewed millions of times. And the future superstar himself, Chase Goehring, is joining us now via Skype. Good morning, Chase. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing so well.
Well, we're so happy to have you. I loved watching that last night. It kind of made me teary-eyed. First of all, congratulations on getting the golden buzzer. What was that like for you finally getting to watch your performance back last night?
Well, it was just so surreal. I was really like reliving the moment because it's such a blur when it's happening. So like you forget like 90% of what they said. So watching it back and knowing exactly what they said to me during that whole moment was just like really heart touching. I was like, I can't believe that happened.
And then after DJ Khaled sent you straight to the live rounds with the golden buzzer, he told you he wanted to work with you someday. So what went through your head when you heard that?
Well, that's like huge validation. I mean, for somebody who's trying to get into the music industry, like coming from somebody that's really well established and like just had hits all over the place, for him to say he wants to work with me is just like super humbling and super like really validating.
So I'm sure this isn't the first time you've heard this, but some people online are calling you the next Ed Sheeran. How do you feel about that comparison?
I feel like it's super honoring. I mean, Ed Sheeran is just like probably the most amazing artist out there right now, and to be compared to someone on his level is super like, wow, you know, like that's a pretty high standard. But at the end of the day, I really do want to be my own artist, and I want to be like the next Chase Goehring.
Okay, I love that. But would you ever want to collaborate with Ed if given the opportunity?
Yes, hands down, please. That's like the #1 dream collaboration of mine.
Awesome. Well, hopefully that'll happen. America's Got Talent live rounds are coming up. Are you going to be performing another original piece, or what's your plan?
Oh yes, definitely going to stick to the originals. Simon, he told me to keep doing what I'm doing, so I'm going to do just that.
I mean, I think it's amazing. Besides having an incredible voice, you also write your own material. Are you more nervous or excited to perform live on the show?
I'm more excited. You know, I feel like I've kind of gotten past like the nerve part of it, and I'm just really looking forward to the live shows.
All right, well, Chase Goehring, thank you so much for rooting you on here. Very excited to see what you do next. And you guys, be sure to watch America's Got Talent Tuesday on NBC at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
This is Jennifer Lawrence in People. This is Jennifer photobombing Taylor Swift and Sarah Jessica Parker and Liam Hemsworth, proving that while we all love the fashion of the red carpet, it's people who steal the show. People. The details make the story.
What is your go-to emoji? Are you an emoji user?
I have texted the emoji for the Canadian flag more times than I have written the word Canada in the last 3 months, and I'll tell you what, it has been fun. It has a little bit.
Yeah, I would have never guessed the Canadian flag emoji could be that much fun. That is comedian and actor TJ Miller, who's starring in the Emoji Movie, which is our Toyota People Pick of the Day. The animated film has a star-studded voice cast, so when TJ stopped by the People Now studios, we had to see if he would be able to name a few of his co-stars when we gave him some clues based on, you guessed it, emojis. Watch. Which of your co-stars we are talking about? Based on some clues. It's things that they're involved in.
I think you're going to be really good at this.
I think so too.
You already, look, he perked up. He's
Oh,
really
no,
competitive.
you know, I didn't perk up, but I realized that all the answers are on the teleprompter.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Proceed.
Yeah, don't roll, guys. You ready? Here it is. First one. You can maybe talk to what you see.
Pants. I see pants.
What kind of pants?
And I see milk. Genie bottle. Genie in a bottle.
So who are we talking? Co-star.
Oh, because it's people. Christina Aguilera.
That's right. Oh my gosh.
Scream the movie.
Almost.
Close.
It's
Scary
movie.
Yeah.
Scary movie. Anna Faris.
Oh my
A
God.
lot of people say Anna. It's not. Star Train.
Close.
What's the train on?
Star Trek, which isn't a real show.
No, it isn't.
So this one is
But it's
incorrect. But it's
close.
Sir Pooptrick Stewart.
That's right.
Sir Patrick Pooper. They call him now.
Guys, shifting gears to this, the widow of an NYPD officer gave birth to a baby girl conceived nearly 3 years after his death using sperm preserved from her husband. New mom, Pei-Sha Chen, welcomed Angelina on Tuesday. The baby's father, Officer Wen-Jen Liu, was shot and killed on December 20th, 2014, along with Officer Rafael Ramos as they sat in a patrol car. Liu's mother told the Daily News that Angelina was, quote, like an angel, like my son is an angel. I'm just so happy. And according to police, Chen had a dream the night of her husband's death in which he handed her a baby girl. Such an incredible story. Very happy, of course, for the new mom.
Definitely. All right, let's check in with Facebook Live one more time. We wanted to know your favorite Princess Diana moment. Anita says Diana's realistic bond with every walk of life, no phoniness about her, and her love and devotion for her sons. She left a wonderful legacy through them.
Yeah, Janie says, my fave Diana moments are the beautiful lit up smile she always had when she was with her sons. It was pure motherhood joy that showed on her pretty face. Totally true.
And Edward says, being a mom first always impressed me, her natural way of loving them.
Yeah, and Beth says, my favorite moment was when she was dancing with John Travolta at the White House. That iconic photo, that whole iconic moment. So
That's
much
a good
stuff
moment.
there. Yeah, guys, be sure to check out that documentary coming up in August. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Zoo star James Wolk is dishing on being a new dad. And speaking of dads, father of 7, Kelsey Grammer, is talking parenthood and the possibility of a Frasier reunion. Please let it happen.
Fun. Thanks for watching. And for now, we leave you with a celebration of some of Princess Diana's most iconic looks. Enjoy.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.